At this point, I seriously think Gen Z is just screwed. In 2026, Gen Z just simply earns way less than it costs to survive. The average Gen Zer makes about $25K a year, which is around $21,000 a month, and spends basically all of it on bills or rent. Nearly half of Gen Z runs out of money before the end of the month ends, and that's not just budgeting, that's just survival at that point. And don't get me started on student loan debt, because the average Gen Zer also has about $30K of student loan debt on top of all of that. We are spending more on essentials than any other previous generation, and wages just keep going down, and the cost of living just keeps going up. You're not failing in life. The system is just completely fucked us over. Budgeting does help, don't get me wrong. I still use mine to budget and track all of my expenses, but the system is still failing us.
I'm an American. I pay $1,600 for a flat that has no bedroom. That's 2/3 of my income. I'm an American. I work 50 hours a week. I don't have health insurance. I'm an American. I couldn't afford to have a child even if I wanted to. I'm $7,000 in debt. I'm an American. My health is declining because I can't afford Whole Foods because that's too expensive for my life. I am very overqualified for my job, but no one else is hiring. I'm an American. I make my boss hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, while I can barely keep myself alive. I'm an American. I have never been out of the States. I have never been on a vacation. I'm an American. I make $20-some an hour. A livable wage here is like 30-some. Yet I don't qualify for government assistance whatsoever. On the days I don't work, I'm so tired I just sleep all day. I'm an American. My electric bill is so expensive I sit outside in the heat because I can't afford to turn the AC on in the damn house. I'm an American, and I fear I'm just an average American. I'm living the American dream.
People need to desperately pay attention to what is happening with our economy right now. We are seeing insane changes in the wealth structure of our country. Starting off, the rich are only getting richer, and that's going to continue because they understand compounding. The poor are surviving on less and less and less. The wealth gap in this country is growing at a rapid pace, and the middle class is nowhere to be found. The ultra rich are buying more yachts, buying more companies, buying more buildings. In the meantime, the lower class is working multiple jobs, surviving on white bread sandwiches, and trying to get by any means possible. I don't know what needs to change. This is absolutely wild, and the younger generations, Gen Zers, millennials, are absolutely struggling to survive. Minimum wage has not gone up. Housing is it's impossible to afford, genuinely, in a lot of these areas. What are we going to do? We're going to look at some stories of those that are stuck in the middle of this. There is no easy way out, but we just have to keep going until a solution is found. The rich are getting richer, and that's not going to change.
Growing up is realizing we do actually use that math they taught us in school. Y'all, I'm sitting here looking at this check and trying to figure out the taxes on it, how much money I'm going to owe. And I realized that about 25% of this money goes to Uncle Sam. If you remember math in school, that's 1/4, 1/4, which means that if a year has 12 months, 1/4 or 1/4 of that year is 3 months. That means that for the first 3 months of the year, every year, I'm working just to pay Uncle Sam. We are all working just to pay Uncle Sam. We don't start making money really until about April. Now, most people get a W-2, the W-2 worker, so you get the pay stub and you see all the stuff. They just spread that money out over time, but if you actually added it all up, you would realize that January through March, roughly, you working to pay Uncle Sam. You don't make nan dime until April. That should be enough to make us sick. That should be enough to make us riot in the street. So right now, what's today? Today's February 17th. We ain't actually earning no money right now, contrary to what we might think. If you really look at how much money is going out, we're not even earning no money right now.
We can't afford food, we can't afford gas, we can't afford housing. No one's coming to save us. When asked to what extent did he factor in financial situations of the American people, he said not even a little bit, I don't think about Americans' financial situations. Rising gas prices, rising food costs, rising housing costs, and he doesn't care about our financial situations. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. This is bad. This is the biggest grift of all time, and we have been had. Well, you've been had. You voted for him 2 or 3 times. That's not the point. The reason I am here is to help you make money. It doesn't matter what president is in office. You need to have a way to make money that doesn't rely on your 9 to 5. Because big corporations are who are making out on all of these deals. Tax breaks, kickbacks, bailout. Do you know who pays for that? You and me. These billionaires are getting off scot-free while we do their work for them, make them richer, and pay their taxes. Oh, and the best part? This guy wants to get you off your antidepressants. He thinks too many people in America are on antidepressants. Yeah, no duh. We are one emergency visit away from being bankrupt. Yes, let's take away the one thing that takes away some of the happiness, or at least the numbness. Our government does not care about us. And it's time we face facts and realize that. I'm here to help you. Make sure you're following me. I'm not going to take your money, unlike the United States government.
You guys, I can't afford it. I can't afford life. I just can't. It's so hard. It's so expensive. It's so darn expensive to live nowadays. I just can't do it. I don't know how everybody else is doing it. I don't know what kind of money you're making. Where are you guys working? That is normal people. I'm talking about normal people. I'm talking about not influencers, not these crazy high corporate jobs, normal jobs. What are you guys doing? Because apparently I'm doing something wrong. I can't afford life with my job. I can't afford it. And I can't leave either. So that's that.
I am moving back into my parents' house at 23 years old, and let's fucking talk about it. I got this apartment about a year ago, and I had just graduated college. I graduated with a Bachelor in Arts of Psychology with a minor in Creative Writing and English. Now, I'm sorry, but a 4-year psychology degree is absolutely useless unless you go forward with it. I didn't have money nor time to go forward with it, so I wanted to get straight into the job field, and I could always go back to school. So I went and I got a sales job, a corporate sales job. And it was obviously a 9 to 5 every single day, Monday through Friday. And if anyone who works in sales knows that your first year absolutely sucks. I could not afford my own rent and my student loan payment just on the salary alone. It was around $47K, just to be fully transparent. It was $47K, sorry. And before anyone fucking says, oh, dude, you weren't working. I worked 7 days a week. I got a part-time job serving on the weekends. So I would do Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, working in Jamaica, Queens, man, and going door to door. Not a good area, especially when you don't know how to parallel park, because I'm from Long Island. Anyways, going there Monday through Friday, I would drive back in around 2 hours worth of traffic, and then on Saturday and Sunday, I would go and serve at a restaurant all day a double. And that still was barely getting me by. So I hated the job so much, and I was like, okay, this is like, I could make this somewhere else. I might as well find another job. I've wanted to be a teacher for a while now. I haven't been able to afford to go back to school. So I'm now a preschool teacher, right? Which I work Monday through Friday, actually 8 to like 6 o'clock sometimes. It really depends on the day. Usually it's 5:30, but 6 o'clock is how it goes. I also keep that serving job on the weekends because I cannot afford to live. I cannot afford to live. I do not hang out with friends. I don't go out very often. I'm also not a drinker, so I don't go out and anything like that, right? I still cannot afford to live. I'm draining my savings, which I don't want to be doing in my 20s. I'm 23 years old. I want to be building my savings at anything. So I decided to move back with my parents for a year. I was very against it because me and my parents, we get along but from a distance. But it was my last option, and the cost of living is absolutely insane despite working 7 days a week. If I even tried to get another job, it would have to be an overnight shift somewhere. That's not manageable when I have to get up as early as I do. It makes me mad when people say, oh, like, Gen Z is so lazy. I promise you I'm the least thing from lazy. I have a crippling fear of not doing enough. I actually hate not having something to do. I can't just relax and watch TV. I don't even watch TV unless my boyfriend's here. I am always cleaning. I am always doing something, or I am working. I never just sit down and relax. I think it's an anxiety thing. But at 23 years old, having a full-time job with benefits and all, I should be able to afford my living situation. Yet I can't, and I'm not the only one who has this shit. Any entry-level job is not enough money to live on. And it sucks. It sucks. I'm going back to school to get my master's. And that is why I'm moving back with my parents, because I will not be able to work 7 days a week while taking a full thing of classes. Yay, so fun.
Stop believing people that's trying to make it seem like they're rich in 2025. Everybody is broke. Even if you're in a position right now where you're making decent money, you're stressed out because inflation is psychotic. It aggravates the fuckery out of me that we're believing people driving the fancy cars, buying the expensive clothes, have money. Do you know what these people do to make it seem like they have money just to prove to you, just so they fool you? Car repossessions are at an all-time high. Have you guys seen car repossessions videos? Everybody's signing the paperwork trying to finance cars that they can't afford. Same thing goes for fucking Afterpay and Affirm. You know what I'm talking about? Like Klarna. Those fucking those like you pay monthly payments on like a Gucci bag. Fucking DoorDash. If somebody's trying to make it seem like they have money, that should be the biggest fucking red flag that you can ever imagine. People who are nice people don't try to make it seem like they're nice people. Do you understand? Same rule applies, buddy.
America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this. Half of America doesn't even have a savings, rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is still people are just bad with money. Like, what money? People are working full-time. Most people have 2 to 3 jobs anymore because you have to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has simply just outpaced reality? Because everything is this expensive, you have to know exactly where all of your money is going anymore. Like, a budget is just simply a necessity. You have to have one. Started using a budgeting app like mine to figure out where all of my money is going, but it does not make up for the fact that America is too expensive to live in anymore. If you're struggling, you are not alone.
America is officially broke because the national debt just officially passed the size of the entire economy. So here's what you need to know to protect yourself. The US debt surpassed 100% of GDP for the first time since World War II, and it's likely going to break this record real soon. In plain English, the US owes more than what it makes an entire year, and it gets worse. So you know how we as individuals can calculate our net worths, right? We take what we have, aka assets, minus what we owe, aka liabilities, and that is our net worth. Well, the country can kind of do the same. So a couple of economists ran the Treasury's own numbers and found this: $6 trillion in assets, $47 trillion in liabilities. That means Uncle Sam is $41 trillion under the hole and technically insolvent. But here's the thing: countries that print their own money don't go bankrupt the way that you and I do. So what do they do instead? They debase, meaning they print more money, like exactly what they did over here. So meaning every dollar that you already have in your pocket drops in value. To put in perspective on how bad it's been, a dollar back in 1913 has the same purchasing power as 3 cents today. That's 97% purchasing power gone.
Americans are so broke and they desperately try to justify their brokenness. I always get Americans tell me, but the people in Mexico, they only make $20 a day. You make $25 an hour and you're still broke. Sure, you drive the newest car, but the bank owns it. It's not yours. Let me see that title. You call yourself a homeowner, but your house is made out of drywall and paper, and you're going to be renting it for 30 years before you even own it. Sure, you went to college, and yeah, sure, you have a degree, but you're going to spend the rest of your life paying for it. Sure, you have the newest iPhone, you have name brand clothing, you have all the nice things, but your credit cards are maxed out. Most of Americans are one paycheck away from being homeless. The United States runs on credit. The United States runs on debt. Americans cannot function without credit. Instead of the United States of America, it should be called the United States of minimum payments. But according to Americans, we're the broke ones. But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
I'm so fucking tired of life. I can't afford to live here anymore. I can't afford to live here anymore. I just spent 6 hours of my life serving tables, running around to make $50. To make $50. And I already know the comments are going to be like, well, get a better job. I'm trying. I moved here 3 weeks ago. I've sent out over 100 resumes. I've had 1 interview. I didn't get the job. I knew I blew it. I did not get the job. I'm trying. The only reason why I got a server job is to make some money while I'm trying to get my big girl job again so I can get checks that actually matter. So I can make money I can actually live off of. But nobody calls. Nobody's calling for these jobs. Indeed is, we're hiring. Or where? Okay, because I sent my resume and I can't afford anything. Okay, I don't want. I live with my son and his roommates right now, and I'm very thankful for that. But I need my own place, and I can't afford it. I can't afford anything. I cannot afford to live here anymore, and I can't take my own life. So what am I supposed to do?
I used to think I was going to be a doctor, and now I'm living in my car with my cats. It's crazy how your circumstances really impact your life. If I hadn't grown up in poverty, if I felt like I had a family that supported me, Would my life be different right now? Would I be a doctor? But I know that if I had put in all of the work to study for the MCAT, if I'd paid thousands of dollars to get into medical school and I actually made it, I would just end up stressed about money and starving and unable to focus on school. A few years ago, I was waitlisted into a PhD program in biomedical engineering at Vanderbilt University. But I didn't reapply because I liked the job that I had and I thought it was going to be a career. I was working in cancer research in honor of my Aunt Maggie, who died of leukemia because she couldn't afford to go to the hospital until it was too late. That job really fulfilled me and I wanted it to be my career. I thought I was going to stay in that field for the rest of my life. But then an evil rich lady came along and took that career away from me, and now I know that I'll probably never find another job in that field again. I have no idea where to go from here. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what kind of job to try and find. All I do know is that I haven't lived in years. I've just been fighting to survive, and I'm tired of it. I want to enjoy life again, but I don't know how to get there.
Y'all, I'm parked in front of Dollar Tree because I'm about to go in there and get some essentials. But before that, I honestly just had like the only crash out because I'd stopped to get gas, right? And I'm really in a place in my life where I'm really budgeting my finances because I just don't got it like that. I'm in a real crunch, survival, financial fucking rut. And I know it's not forever, but this is just the chapter I'm in. And as much as I try to be positive sometimes, like it's really hard. It's really hard to be in a financial like survival mode when you don't know what your next move is. You don't know where your next resource is coming from because it fucking makes you hyper vigilant. And like when you're hyper vigilant, like you can't relax, your brain can't shut off and you can't stop worrying. And that shit just drains all your energy. Like having to worry all the time drains your energy. And I understand that like people are like, oh, pray. And don't get me wrong, I pray. But when I'm about to take a shit and I don't know when the next fucking slice of paper toilet is coming from, like, you know, that's real life 3D shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like it's a really difficult place to be in. And so with that being said, I had $25 in like my Apple Cash card. And so I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna go to the gas station. I'm gonna get $15 of gas. And then the rest, like I'm gonna take to get like a little bit of essentials at Dollar Tree. And when I asked him for 15 regular, he had put gas in my car and it charged my whole shit. And I just stood there because I'm not trying to crash out in front of this man, but I'm like, fuck. Like I literally don't have anything else. Like my regular account is negative. Like fuck. I have no toilet tissue. I have no, like I need stuff for the house. Like I don't have water. Like I don't, oh my God. So he was like, oh, like it charges you temporarily. Like it's going to refund you. So I literally drove off and I parked on this random street and I just cried. Like I just cried. Like I let it all out. Like I couldn't even, it wasn't even one of those like boohoo cries. It was just like one of those silent cries where like the tears just come down and you're just like overwhelmed. You just shut down. And within a couple of minutes, like I got $11 back. Thank God. And so with that being said, I'm about to go into the Dollar Tree and I'm about to get, you know, whatever essentials I can with that. But y'all, this is not okay. Like this is not normal. And I share this not because I want to give a sob story, not because, you know, I'm asking for help or anything like that. Because honestly, I'm a person that has a very hard time receiving help, and that's not even like my gist. It's just to shine a light for other people that are going through this shit, because I know that I'm not one of one. And it's not even like, oh, you can tell somebody like get a job. Most of the jobs right now, are not paying enough for you to cover rent, for you to cover bills, and for you to be able to live. You know what I'm saying? Like it's insane. And I don't know where anybody else lives, but I live in New Jersey. It's super fucking expensive on like the Northeast. Like it's the fact that other people live like this, because like I said, I know I'm not one of one. This shit is insane. And the fact that like it's only gonna get worse and this economy is only getting worse. Like I understand, like I said, this is just a chapter. Like I'm in my last year of grad school, so I know I'm gonna have a career next year. But the fact that like not many people are in my position and probably, you know, like have kids, have way more responsibilities than I do, and they have to live like this, it's fucking horrible and it's depressing. And I think a big issue with like mental health and depression in this country is probably because people can't take care of themselves, and people know that. It makes you feel like a second-class citizen. It makes you feel like shit. It makes you feel like a bad person, and it makes you feel like you're not enough, and that's a shitty feeling. And it just makes me sad. It makes me sad that as a country we advance as much as we have, but there's so many people that are like falling between the cracks. And I don't know if anything will ever be done about that, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I had to share because this shit is hard. And if you're going through this, I'm really sorry. And honestly, I wouldn't wish this on nobody.
Breaking fucking news. Buckle up, bitch. Grab your wallet, because the United States of America is fucking broke. Yeah, so it's currently 2:42 in the morning. I haven't slept since finding out this information. I didn't want to share with you guys at this time, so I'm gonna ruin you guys this morning. So be prepared for that. Um, you guys let me know when you're ready to rebel. Or are y'all gonna still keep working? Because the U.S. is broke. So I'm trying to figure out if you're going to work to get paid in USD and there's no more D. Are you still gonna work for that company? Let's read the source. Let's read it together. The Treasury just declared the United States insolvent. Let's search. What does insolvent mean? Insolvent means unable to pay debts owed. So let's reread this title. The Treasury just declared the US unable to pay its debt. The United States of America is broke, ladies and gentlemen. The government that you live in is broke. Do you know what that means for you? You're broke as fuck. Good morning. Enjoy this piece of news as you go to work for nothing. You guys let me know when you're ready to rebel. That's ENN.
America has literally built a system where being poor is more expensive. And nobody talks about how backwards that is. Like, if you're already struggling, everything costs more. On a bill you couldn't afford? Well, now you owe more. Miss a payment because you were trying to juggle rent and groceries? Well, now your credit drops and you owe even more money. Overdraw your account by a few dollars? Well, now you owe $50. Like, the system punishes you for already being behind. We're always rewarding millionaires while the people that are struggling the most just simply end up paying the most money. But everybody still says, work harder, budget better. The reality right now is the economy is brutal. It is so hard to get ahead right now. How are you supposed to get ahead whenever you fall behind a little bit and the system just keeps pushing you back further and further? Everything is insane right now. Rent is at an all-time high. Groceries are so expensive. I don't understand how we're supposed to get ahead in this economy anymore. Don't get me wrong, budgeting does help. I literally have to budget with mine, or else I don't know where any of my money would be going. But it doesn't make up for the fact that the system is literally designed to fail us. So if you're struggling right now, you are not alone.